So we've looked at a plant cell, so now let's look at a particular animal cell and compare and contrast the differences between a plant cell and an animal cell. So just like a plant cell, the animal cell contains a smooth endoplasmic reticulum, and its main role, just like in a plant cell, is to make lipids and phospholipids for the membrane, cellular membrane. You'll also look at these extrusions, which aren't universal in animal cells, but they're known as microvilli, which increase surface area, but not all animal cells actually have these. So just like the plant cell, the animal cell has a plasma membrane, which is the boundary of the cell, and it separates the cell from the external environment and controls the movement in and out of the cell, either through active transport or through diffusion through this semi-permeable membrane. The animal cell also has mitochondria, just like a plant cell, and this converts glucose to ATP, which is a form of usable energy in the cell, through the process of respiration. Unlike the plant cell, the animal cell has a smaller vacuole, and it's not always present in an animal cell. Just like the plant cell, animal cells have a Golgi apparatus, which are stacks of membranes which are sometimes connected to the endoplasmic reticulum, and these are where the proteins are sent away through something called vesicles. They also contain exosomes, which is a vesicle, which is like a sphere of like the same material as the bilayer, which allows contents to leave the cell through the semi-permeable membrane. So just like in the plant cell, an animal cell has a nuclear membrane which encloses the nucleus and the DNA inside, and also contains ribosomes on the rough endoplasmic reticulum. These make the proteins from subunits called amino acids, and they are either seen floating around or, as I said, attached to the rough endoplasmic reticulum. Just like in animal cells, just like in plant cells, the animal cell has a nuclear pore, and this is a hole in the nuclear membrane which allows molecules like messenger RNA to move in and out of the nucleus. An important thing in animal cells and in plant cells is cellular vision, which we'll learn about later, but one of the organelles involved in that process is the centriole, which are little cylinders basically, which contain something called a centrosome, which is an organelle that organizes the cell for cell division, but we'll learn more about that later in the course. Animal cells also have lysosomes, which are sac-like organelles containing a chemical called an enzyme, which we'll learn more about, that break down foreign material and waste products, cell debris, and also when the organelles have broken down. So just like in the plant cell, animal cells have the rough endoplasmic reticulum, which we've already discussed, which have these orange ribosomes attached where the proteins are made. And of course the nucleus is where the majority of the DNA of the cell is found. There is also mitochondrial DNA, which we won't discuss in great detail, but most of the DNA, the information of the cell, is found in the nucleus. And of course you have the nucleosis at the center, which is a denser structure within the nucleus, which is called the nucleosis. And just like in the plant cell, the animal cell has a cytoplasm, which is this liquid which allows chemical reactions to occur because it acts essentially as a solvent. And we are back to the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So that, in a nutshell, is the major organelles of an animal cell, and you can clearly see the major differences between a plant and animal cell is that a plant cell has a cell wall and also has a large central vacuole, and more critically, because it's an autotroph, it has the chloroplast, which allow the conversion of light energy into a food source.